The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Ever wonder if success has an actual formula? Like, not just motivational fluff, but real, honest-to-goodness principles you can follow like a recipe? Picture this. Over 100 years ago, there's this regular guy who's absolutely had it with being broke. His family's struggling. He's tasted failure more times than he can count. And one day, he just decides, there's gotta be a better way. No internet to scroll through. No podcasts in his earbuds. Just him, a stack of philosophy books, and a burning question. What do successful people actually know that I don't? And here's the kicker. He actually figured it out. His name was Wallace D. Wattles, and in 1910, he dropped a little book called The Science of Getting Rich. Now, before you roll your eyes at the title, hold on. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme or a manifesto on greed. What Wattles discovered goes way deeper than just stacking cash. He uncovered principles about life itself, about growth, value creation, and becoming the fullest version of yourself. This book became a secret weapon. It inspired Rhonda Byrne to create The Secret, which went on to reach millions. It laid the groundwork for basically every modern book on mindset and manifestation. Sure, it sold millions of copies, but its real impact? Impossible to measure. It's like a stone thrown into a pond, creating ripples that are still spreading today. So what's this hidden science? What did this man discover that still resonates over a century later? Wattles makes a bold claim right out of the gate. He says getting rich isn't about where you were born, how smart you are, what school you attended, or whether you got lucky. It's about doing things in a certain way. And this way, he argues, follows laws as precise as math itself. Master these laws, apply them consistently, and wealth becomes as predictable as 2 + 2 = 4. Today, we're unpacking that certain way together. We'll explore why wanting more isn't selfish. It's actually the engine driving all life forward. We'll dive into the idea that there's one fundamental substance everything comes from, and that your thoughts can literally shape it. And most importantly, I'll walk you through a step-by-step blueprint that combines the power of your mind with the necessity of your actions. This isn't just a summary. It's an invitation to see the world completely differently. So get comfortable, open your mind, and let's dive into the timeless wisdom of the science of getting rich. Let's start with an uncomfortable question. Is it even okay to want to be rich? We live in a world that loves to praise humility while side-eyeing ambition. Many of us grew up hearing that money is the root of all evil, that poverty builds character, that wanting wealth is somehow shallow or spiritually bankrupt. Wallace Wattles looks at that belief and, with a gentle but firm shake of his head, tells us it's one of the most destructive ideas we can hold. Here's his argument. We're here on this planet for one fundamental reason: to live, and to live more abundantly. The universe itself is constantly expanding, always seeking fuller expression. A tiny seed doesn't aim to become a sad little sprout. It's programmed to reach its full potential, produce fruit, and multiply. Life itself is about increase. For us humans, what does living fully actually require? Wattles breaks it down into 3 parts: body, mind, and soul. None is more important than the others. They're all essential pieces of being completely alive. To live fully in your body, you need good food, comfortable clothes, a warm home, and freedom from soul-crushing labor. To live fully in your mind, you need books, art, travel, and time to learn and grow. To live fully in your soul, you need love and the ability to give, to provide for your family, contribute to your community, and help those who need it. And how do we get the resources for all this? In our world, the answer is simple and unavoidable: money. Being poor means being denied the tools for a complete life. You can't reach your full potential in talent or soul development if you lack the resources to explore, learn, and give. Therefore, wanting to be rich isn't about greed or materialism. It's about wanting a fuller, richer, more complete life. It's your potential crying out for the means to express itself. Seen this way, learning how to create wealth becomes not just acceptable, but one of the noblest pursuits possible. This foundation is crucial. If you can accept that your desire for more isn't selfish, but natural and healthy, then you're ready for the first mind-bending principle of this science. So if getting rich is truly a science like physics or chemistry, it must have fundamental laws. And the first law Wattles presents is, well, it's a doozy. It requires a complete shift in how you see reality itself. Here's the proposition. There's a thinking substance, a formless intelligence, from which all things are made. Imagine an invisible, intelligent energy permeating every corner of the universe. It's like a vast ocean of pure potential, the raw material of everything you see. The stars, planets, trees, your own body, the device you're listening to this on, all of it is just this one original substance taking different shapes. Now here's where it gets interesting. This substance doesn't just exist, it thinks. And when it thinks of a form, it creates that form. A thought held within this substance produces the thing imagined by that thought. Let that sink in for a second. Everything in the universe is the visible expression of thoughts held in this original, thinking substance. Every star system, every oak tree, every mountain, all thoughts made manifest. And here's where you come in. You are a thinking center. You can originate thought. And if you can learn to communicate your thoughts to this formless substance, you can cause the creation of the things you think about. Let me break down this core principle. 1. There's a thinking substance from which everything is made. 2. A thought held in this substance produces the thing imagined. 3. You can form things in your thought and impress them upon this substance, causing them to be created. This is radical. Most of us see the world as solid, fixed, and limited. We believe that to get something, we have to fight for it, because there's only so much to go around. Wattles calls this the competitive mind, the belief that life is a zero-sum game where someone has to lose for you to win. But if this formless substance is real and its supply is infinite, competition becomes unnecessary. Why fight over slices of pie when you can bake your own from an endless supply of ingredients? This new perspective is what he calls the creative mind. The creative thinker understands they don't need to take from anyone. They're a creator, not a competitor. They know the universe can make what they want from the formless raw material available to everyone. This shift from competitive to creative thinking is absolutely crucial. As long as you believe the supply is limited, you'll stay trapped in fear, envy, and struggle. You'll constantly worry that someone will beat you to it, that opportunities are scarce, that you need to fight and claw your way forward. The creative mind operates from calm confidence. It knows there's more than enough for everyone. Even if one door closes, the infinite intelligence can and will open another. What you create for yourself doesn't take from anyone else. In fact, it blazes a trail for others to follow. So how do we actually make this shift? How do we start operating from this creative mindset and impressing our desires upon this thinking substance? This brings us to the practical part. Wattles identifies a critical ingredient that bridges your mind and the formless substance. It's the conductor through which the electricity of creation flows. That ingredient? Gratitude. Now, we usually think of gratitude as a nice feeling, something polite to practice. But Wattles treats it like a scientific law, as fundamental as gravity itself. The entire process of mental connection with the universe, he says, can be summed up in this one word. Here's how it works. When you're truly grateful, your mind focuses on the good you've already received. You're acknowledging a source of that good. By consistently fixing your mind on this source, you create harmony with it. The grateful mind stays in closer touch with the source of blessings. The more gratefully you focus on the Supreme, the more good things flow to you, and the faster they arrive. Think of it like tuning a radio. The formless substance constantly broadcasts on a frequency of abundance and creation. But our minds often tune to frequencies of doubt, fear, and lack. Gratitude is the act of consciously adjusting your dial. It aligns your mental frequency with the creative frequency of the universe. When you're in deep, continuous gratitude, your thoughts about what you want are received much more clearly. But there's another crucial reason gratitude is so powerful. It protects you from the greatest enemy of creation, doubt. The moment you let your mind dwell on dissatisfaction with your current circumstances, on what you lack, on poverty, on struggles, you start losing ground. Your mind takes the form of these negative things, and since you're impressing your thoughts on the formless substance, you'll create more lack, more poverty, more struggle. Gratitude is the antidote. It keeps your mind fixed on the best, even when surrounded by the worst. It prevents you from falling back into competitive thinking, which would be fatal to your hopes. So the first step, cultivate a habit of gratitude for every good thing and give thanks continuously. This keeps the channel open. With that channel established, you're ready for the next step, forming a clear, definite vision. You can't transmit an idea you don't have. Wattles is crystal clear on this. It's not enough to vaguely want more money or wish to do good. Everyone has those desires. To activate creative power, you must know exactly what you want. He tells the story of a man who wanted to improve his home. This guy didn't just generally wish for a nicer house. He walked through his current home, room by room, forming a clear mental picture of every improvement. He mentally added a bay window here, a new room there. He planned the furnishings. He built a complete, detailed image of his ideal home in his mind. This is what you must do. Form a clear, definite mental picture of what you want to have, do, or become. Hold this picture constantly in your thoughts. It should be your North Star, guiding you always. The clearer and more definite your picture, and the more you dwell on it with all its delightful details, the stronger your desire becomes. And stronger desire makes it easier to keep your mind fixed on the picture. But seeing the picture is only half the equation. If that's all you do, you're just a dreamer. Behind your clear vision must be two more elements: purpose and faith. Purpose is the determination to realize your vision, to bring it into tangible expression. It's the driving force saying, "I will achieve this." Faith is the serene, unwavering belief that the thing is already yours, that it's on its way, and you only need to take possession. This is crucial. It's not faith that you'll get it someday. It's faith that you've already received it in the spiritual realm, and its physical manifestation is now certain. Wattles quotes Jesus, "Whatsoever things ye ask for when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." This is how you must live. Mentally live in your new house. Wear those fine clothes in your imagination. Feel the joy of your goals as if they're already physical reality. Take mental possession first, and be deeply grateful for it, just as you will be when it arrives. Someone who can sincerely thank God for things they possess only in imagination, Wattles says, has true faith. That person will get rich. This combination, a clear vision, held with unwavering purpose and unshakable faith, all while in constant gratitude, is how you impress your desires upon the formless substance. This is thinking in the certain way. Now, an important question arises. What about willpower? Many people diving into mind power believe they need to use their will to influence others or force the universe to bend to their desires. Wattles says this is a huge mistake. This science doesn't require you to apply your will to anything or anyone outside yourself. Trying to control other people with your mind is just as wrong as controlling them with physical force. It violates their freedom and puts you right back on the competitive plane. And trying to use willpower to coerce the universe or God, equally foolish. The formless substance is friendly to you. It's more eager to give you what you want than you are to receive it, because by giving to you, it achieves fuller expression. You don't need to force it. So what's the will for? The legitimate use of will is to control yourself. You must use your will to compel yourself to think and act in the certain way. Your mind naturally pulls toward doubt when you see poverty around you. It's tempted to worry when facing obstacles. It's drawn to old competitive thought patterns. You must use your will to command your own attention. Use it to stay focused on your vision, maintain your faith, and practice gratitude regardless of what your eyes and ears tell you. This is the hardest work there is. Thinking truth, regardless of appearances, requires real power. To think of wealth when surrounded by poverty. To think of health when experiencing sickness. This demands strength. But whoever acquires this power, Wattles promises, becomes a mastermind, able to conquer fate. This leads to critical advice. If you want to become rich, don't study poverty. You don't bring things into being by thinking about their opposites. You don't achieve health by studying disease, and you don't create wealth by focusing on lack. Use your will to keep your mind off poverty and on the vision of what you want to create. Up to this point, everything has focused on the mind, thinking in the certain way, and this is where many people who try these principles fail. They believe thought alone is enough. They form their vision, try to have faith, then sit back and wait for a check to fall from the sky. This, Wattles warns, is where many shipwreck. There's a missing piece, and it's the bridge between the unseen world of thought and the visible world of results. That bridge is action. Don't rely on thought alone. Ignoring personal action, your thought sets all things in motion to bring you what you want. But your personal activity must position you to receive what's coming. The gold in the mountains may be drawn toward you by your thought, but it won't mine itself, refine itself, and roll down the road into your pocket. The universe works through people, through trade, through commerce, through natural channels. Your job is to act in ways that allow you to receive what's coming. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. So what kind of action? This is where the science gets wonderfully practical. Wattles lays out 3 simple but powerful rules for acting in the certain way. First, you must act now. You can't act in the past or future. The only time you have is the present moment. If you're ever to begin making ready for what you want, you must begin now. Don't wait for the right business or environment. Act where you are, in your present business, with your current people and things. You can only act where you are. Second, you must do ALL that you can do each day. The world advances only through those who more than fill their present places. If you leave any part of your day's work undone, you're not larger than your current role, and you won't advance. Do, every day, all that can be done that day. But here's an important warning. This doesn't mean overwork or rushing blindly, trying to cram in the maximum number of things. This leads to the third most important rule. It's not the number of things you do that counts, but the efficiency of each separate action. Every act you perform is either a success or a failure in itself. If you spend your life doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. But if every single act is efficient, your life must be a success. So the entire question of getting rich comes down to this: can you make each separate act a success? Wattles says yes, and the secret is bringing your mental power into your physical action. You make each act strong and efficient by holding your vision while doing it, and putting the whole power of your faith and purpose into it. This is where people who separate mind power from action fail. They meditate in the morning, then go through their day mindlessly, inefficiently, or doubtfully. Their actions aren't infused with the creative power of their thought. But if you bring your full power into every act, no matter how ordinary, every act becomes a success. When washing dishes, wash them with the purpose and faith of someone creating their ideal life. When filing papers, file them with the power of someone moving toward greatness. When talking to a customer, talk with the conviction of someone bringing increase to the world. This brings us to the final beautiful piece, the impression of increase. Since the desire for increase, for more life, is the deepest impulse in everyone, people are naturally attracted to those who can give them more. If you follow this science, you're getting continuous increase for yourself. You become a creative center, radiating increase to everyone around you. Your key thought in all dealings with others must be to convey this impression of increase. In every transaction, whether selling a car or chatting with a friend, leave the other person feeling they've gained something, been uplifted, that they're better off for having interacted with you. How? Not by boasting. True faith is never boastful. Do it by holding unshakable faith that you yourself are in the way of increase, and let that faith inspire and permeate every action. Feel that you're getting rich, and in doing so, you're making others rich and conferring benefits on all. The most practical way to ensure this: always give every person more in use value than you take in cash value. The money paid for this book may exceed the value of paper and ink. But if the ideas bring you thousands of dollars, the author has given you tremendous use value for small cash value. This must be the spirit of all your business. Make your work provide a ladder for others to advance. Give customers products or services that add more to their life than the money they exchange. When you operate this way, people will flock to you. They'll feel the sense of increase in your presence. And the supreme intelligence, which desires increase in all, will move people toward you who've never even heard of you. Your business will grow, opportunities will come, and you'll move steadily and rapidly toward the vision you hold in your mind. And that's the complete science. It's a perfect loop. You start by accepting your right to a full life. You shift from competition to creation, understanding you draw from infinite formless substance. You connect with this substance through deep, constant gratitude. You form a clear, definite vision and hold it with unwavering purpose and faith. You use your will to command your own mind, keeping it focused regardless of appearances. Then you act anyhow, doing all you can each day, making every action efficient by infusing it with your vision's power. And in all actions, you convey the impression of increase, always giving more in use value than you receive in cash value. Those who practice these instructions, Wallace concludes, will certainly get rich. And the riches received will be in exact proportion to the definiteness of their vision, the fixity of their purpose, the steadiness of their faith, and the depth of their gratitude. It's an exact science, and it cannot fail. As these ideas settle, it's worth stepping back and asking, why has this short book, written over a century ago, had such lasting impact? I believe it addresses something fundamental to the human spirit. It offers hope. Not blind optimism, but hope based on a system, a science, a method. The most powerful lesson for me is the radical shift from competitive to creative mindset. We live in a world obsessed with competition. From childhood, we're graded on curves, ranked against peers, taught that success means beating someone else. This mindset is the source of so much stress, anxiety, and conflict. Wattles offers an exit. He presents a vision of success that isn't about taking, but creating. Getting rich through his method doesn't make the world poorer. It enriches it. By creating value for others, by being a source of increase, you naturally attract abundance. This isn't just financial strategy, it's a philosophy for living. It reframes ambition not as selfishness, but as a noble endeavor to expand life for everyone. The second key takeaway is the beautiful synergy between thought and action. This book isn't about wishing for things. It's a disciplined practice demanding both deep internal work and diligent external effort. Your thoughts set creative forces in motion, but your actions prepare you to receive results. You can't have one without the other. This balanced approach is often missing in modern interpretations, which can overemphasize the mental side, while neglecting the crucial role of doing the work. Wattles reminds us that faith without works is dead. So how can you begin applying these principles in your own life? Starting today, here are 3 simple practical actions. First, clarify your vision. Take 30 minutes today with pen and paper and answer, what does a truly rich and abundant life look like for me? Don't just think about money. Consider health, relationships, knowledge, experiences, contributions to the world. Be detailed and specific. Create that mental picture Wattles describes. This is your destination. Second, practice proactive gratitude. Tonight before sleep, don't just passively think of things you're grateful for. Take one specific thing, a meal, a conversation, the comfort of your bed, and hold it in your mind. Feel gratitude for it as deeply as possible. Try connecting that feeling to the source Wattles describes, the universal intelligence that provided it. Doing this consistently will retune your mind to the frequency of abundance. Third, give the impression of increase. In your very next interaction, whether with family, a coworker, or a store cashier, consciously leave them feeling better than when you found them. Offer a genuine compliment. Listen with full attention. Share a positive thought. Put the principle of giving more use value, or in this case, emotional value, into practice. This small shift can transform your relationships and environment. The science of getting rich is more than a wealth manual. It's a guide to living with purpose, power, and contribution. It teaches that you're not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of them, and that the same power that created worlds is available to you right now, through the thoughts you think and the actions you take. That was a summary of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. We've covered the core principles today, but I'll be honest, a brief overview can only ever be a map. It shows you the territory, but can't give you the experience of walking the path yourself. The real magic happens when you engage with the book directly. In those quiet reading moments when a particular phrase resonates unexpectedly, this summary is a signpost, helping you decide if this is a journey worth taking. If anything we've discussed has sparked possibility within you, I encourage you to grab a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can genuinely change how you see yourself and your potential. The link is in the description below. Also, if you found this summary valuable and it gave you a new perspective, please hit that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss our next deep dive into another life-changing book from the billionaire's bookshelf. Let's keep growing together.